Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500 with Elliott Wave Theory. Couple of advertisements here: Patreon Elliott Wave Basics course, weekly live streams and more Elliott Wave analysis. Udemy Elliott Wave Advanced course, including RSI, risk management, Elliott Wave strategies and time analysis, and counter trend capital trade setups, education and community. Check us out if you're interested in learning more. So here we are on 1 hour time frame, and today again focusing on this one first and then looking back and zooming out and seeing what these smaller structures can be part of. Now, previously we were talking about the bear option and the bullish option. Bear option was on the very much of a back burner since I did not have any kind of a confluence for any other assets, mainly with Nasdaq. So what we had for the bearish idea, we had this as coming down in a 1-2, and then if we took out this high here, then the idea of having this as a 1-2 is completely gone, because again we can't really have this as a B, C for the larger wave 1-2, because again this B wave here would be way too large in that scenario. Again, going well past the 1.618 extension, or sorry, retracement of this original move, making it very, very unlikely. So again, bear scenario was already very very unlikely, didn't have much potential on it, and again now it has been invalidated finally, so we can just delete it completely. I already did that before this, so that's that. Now the bullish idea that we've been following is this one, in which we had a three-way structure coming down into the lows of 38.35 around the 13th of March, having hit the 1-to-1, after which again we had another extension to the upside. This was labeled as a expanding leading diagonal into wave A or wave 1, then three-way pull back into wave 2 or wave B, and then we'd be looking for extension upwards to get a partner leg for this structure over here. At this moment, again, we have hit the 1-to-1 extension here on price, but again, we did not really have a good looking wave 4 previous to it. So there is a chance that this was a wave 4 here, but it is kind of small in that sense, and not really my favorite. So that's why I'm still labeling this as a wave 4. This way we get back to the 38.2 extension, retracements of this wave 3 for that wave 4, and it definitely looks decent in my opinion, structure wise and proportion wise. We have some kind of alteration here where this wave 2 has taken out the origin highs, so this is an expanding structure here, while this is not, we just come down. So this is some kind of a potential zigzag-ish, or more of a, at least a simpler structure here on wave 4. What else? Well, the thing is that if we are zooming out from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure of this impulse wave, we need to think what it is about, or what it is a part of. So at this moment, I do think it is more likely to be a C wave. Why? Is just because, again, the extensions. The third wave was expected only to be hitting, or only to be viable after it hits the 1.618. It doesn't mean that wave C can't hit the 1.618, but it's more likely that third wave is starting at these heights, or at least comes into the picture. At this point, again, I don't really see us having the fifth wave extend this much, unless of course it can. We did not really have too much of an extension here on third wave, so there is definitely a chance for that. At this moment, I do see this as just a 1-2, so there is definitely a move to the upside, very much of a possibility. So we'll see how that turns out. At the moment, again, I'm expecting these highs to be taken out. This 1-to-1 here is the comparison to this wave 1, which is generally one of the targets that we have for fifth waves, and the 1.6 is another one. None of these, or neither of these, is actually hitting any of the higher degree targets here, which is kind of weird. So there is of course a chance that we're just going to be extending a bit higher. At this point, again, I would be expecting this to be something like this, but again, none of these really are hitting the targets too much. We could be having an extension here locally, where this whole thing would be getting to the 2.618 extension, and then we'd be creating this and hitting the 1.618 extension here. So that is potential, but again, we'll see how that turns out. If you're not in longs, there is some kind of possibility here locally, very locally, going long against these lows. At that point again you would need some kind of a pretty decent extension here in order to have the risk to reward ratio beyond 2. So you would need the extension to be happening here for this trade to be any kind of worth your risk, in my opinion. But yeah, it's still there. Especially if we come down a bit, you could even go long against these very much more local lows than these. But yeah, just some idea there. Now let's zoom out and see what this ABC can be part of. So let me just close that and draw in what we might have here. So this is an ABC here. So what we have here in higher time frame? Well, we had a triangle scenario in which again we had this as an ABCDE coming into a very close structure now. Now this is definitely a very scary idea, that we are coming to a close on a end of a triangle, and now we are very close to the targets. And if we are pulling up the bull count, we can see that 1-to-1 extension is right here, very close to the trend line that we have for the triangle. And again, it would be taking out the previous high locally here as well. If we take out this high over here, then we can confirm that it is not a triangle. That would be around the 1.618. So again, it is kind of important how much we are going to be extending here. We'll see how that turns out. The other counts, we had this one where we had a very scuffed looking diagonal here at the start. Looks like all of these structures have shifted again for some reason. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't really like it. The structures are kind of bad. There was a way of labeling this into a WXY where the X wave here is located here instead. So we could actually already do this, do that and place the X wave there. And again, this would be a 3, 3 and then 3 here to create that expansion down here in time especially. So we can be just labeling this into W, X and Y. We know that wave Y here did not come to the target of these flows, which is kind of weird to me, but yeah, it doesn't really change anything overall. So that's that. WXY, this is still looking decent, and we would be expecting it to take out at least all these highs here and potentially expand to the 1-to-1. This would mean that this three-way structure that we have here is the start of this whole wave Y, meaning that we would be getting a three-way structure and then another three-way structure to potentially create this wave Y overall. These were just the substructures in here. We had this idea as well, having this as a WX, looking for wave Y. Not really liking this too much. We can invalidate this being a B high, at least if we come all the way up in here. I don't really see us that bullish at the moment, but again, if we just create this extension here locally into that 1.618, again, we might be taking out the liquidity from here, taking out the price as well, and making sure that this is no longer a B wave. Again, we can't really make a good looking 5-way structure in here anyway, so the higher degree idea that this is a B wave is kind of shifting, in my opinion, to these forwards. So if we don't take out these highs and start moving downwards, I would not really look into this count, but instead I would be more likely looking into this triangle instead. Then we had this kind of structure where we were looking into this same idea that we had previously, where this again was a W, then WXY. Again, the placement of wave Y has been shifted originally from here now to here and potentially even here. And you can start to see how extended the wave Y is starting to be if we again take out these highs to create something like that. I don't really have a good looking structure if we take out these highs at the moment, because again the triangle is definitely the best proportionate. I feel like something like this might be the best one, or the WXY overall is the best one, but how this fits into the higher degree or higher time frame, I'm not quite sure. Maybe there is a chance that we have this as that WXYZ count that we were talking earlier, and this structure here would be a partner leg, the connector wave, and before we would be getting another leg downwards similar to this. But those are all the ideas that I'm looking at on SP500. These are very important highs. Now they are pretty much, or there is a lot of liquidity here. Why? We can clearly see we have double tops here, and we did take out the previous liquidity with this one. However, again, we did not really take out the previous highs here with these highs. So again, there is resting liquidity up in here for sure, and that is what we would be targeting. If we fail to target that, or if we fail to get up there, we would be concentrating more on the triangle count. If we do and take these out, then I think the WXY account is the one to go to. I think that's all we want to be talking about now. And again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments on this video. And yeah, that's it. If you want to educate yourself, check out the Udemy course. It's currently on discount code Easter. Check out the links in the description and on discount. on the Discord. And Patreon, of course, live streams and everything else, extra content there as well. And CTC for trade setups and more education there as well. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye.